Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Before we dive into today's story, make sure to like and hit that subscribe button. Your support really helps the channel grow and allows me to keep sharing these stories with you. Today, I'm sharing a tale of mystery, bravery, and the unknown. Listen carefully and don't forget to tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get started. In a small, quiet village surrounded by dense, mysterious woods, there lived a boy named Kael. His village was peaceful, but for generations, it had been haunted by tales of the cursed forest at its borders. The elders spoke of an ancient portal deep within the woods, a portal said to lead to a realm of unimaginable power. But this power came with a price. No one who ventures into the forest ever returns, they warned. While most villagers were content to stay far away, Kael was different. He was curious, and his fascination with the forest grew with every whispered legend. What secrets did it hold? Was the portal real, or just a story meant to scare children? One misty evening, as the village fell silent, Kael stood at the edge of the forest. He clutched a lantern in his trembling hand, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and excitement. He had decided it was time to uncover the truth. The forest seemed to whisper his name, beckoning him deeper. And there, in the heart of the forest, the portal awaited. Imagine you are Kael. Would you dare to step into the shadows? What would you hope to find? Share your thoughts in the comments below. As Kael stepped into the forest, the world around him seemed to change. The air was colder, heavier, and the trees whispered softly, as though warning him to turn back. Strange plants glowed faintly in the darkness, casting eerie shadows on the mossy ground. His lantern flickered, but he pressed on, driven by an unexplainable pull. Hours passed, and Kael felt like he was wandering in circles, until he saw it. In the distance, through the thick trees, he saw a faint blue glow. His heart raced as he moved closer, pushing through the branches and vines until he entered a clearing. There it was, the portal. It stood tall and ancient, a stone arch covered in glowing runes that pulsed like a heartbeat. The air within the arch shimmered like liquid light swirling with hues of blue and purple. Kael could hardly breathe. But before he could step closer, a deep voice echoed from the shadows.
You're not the first to find this place.
Kael froze. Emerging from the darkness was a figure cloaked in shadow, its glowing eyes fixed on him.
Who are you?
I am the guardian of the portal. Many have come seeking power, but few understand the cost. What do you seek, mortal?
I want to know the truth. What lies beyond this portal?
The guardian's eyes seemed to burn brighter.
Beyond this gateway lies a realm of great power and great danger. If you enter, your life will never be the same. Are you willing to pay the price?
Kael hesitated. The stories of the villagers echoed in his mind, but so did his curiosity. Was this his chance to uncover the mysteries that had haunted him for so long? Taking a deep breath, Kael stepped forward. He reached out to touch the portal, and it glowed brighter in response. With a final glance back, he stepped into the unknown. Colors and lights swirled around him, and then he was gone. What do you think Kael should do next? Should he turn back to safety, or venture into the portal and embrace the unknown? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm eager to know. Kael stepped closer to the portal. The guardian didn't move but watched him intently. The swirling light within the portal seemed to call to him, pulling him forward. Finally, Kael took a deep breath and stepped through. For a moment, everything was light. Then, Kael found himself standing in a completely different world. The sky above was a swirl of colors, purple, gold and blue, and strange floating islands hung in the air, connected by shimmering bridges of light. Creatures with glowing eyes and wings soared above, their cries echoing in the vast expanse. Kael took a step forward, amazed and overwhelmed. But before he could take in more, the guardian's voice boomed behind him.
Your trial begins now.
The ground beneath Kael began to shift. Pieces of the floating island broke apart, and a path of glowing stones appeared, leading into the distance. Strange shadows began to emerge from the edges of the island, their forms shifting and pulsing with energy. Kael realized he had no choice but to move forward. His journey had only just begun. With determination in his eyes, Kael braced himself for the challenges ahead. And that's where we'll leave it for now. What do you think will happen to Kael? Will he survive the trials of this strange realm? Or will he discover that some mysteries are better left untouched? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Gap 3S. As Kael wandered deeper into the shadowy realm, an eerie silence enveloped him. The air grew colder, and the shadows seemed to whisper secrets of ancient times. Suddenly, a soft glow appeared in the distance, illuminating a hidden path. Kael approached cautiously, his heart pounding. There, standing at the end of the path, was a figure cloaked in darkness, yet emanating a faint, otherworldly light. It was the unseen guardian, a being of immense power and knowledge, tasked with protecting the secrets of this realm. The guardian spoke in a voice that echoed through the void. "Kael, you have ventured far and faced many dangers, but the greatest challenge lies ahead. To proceed, you must answer a riddle that has confounded many." Kael took a deep breath, ready to face this new trial. The guardian's eyes glowed brighter as it posed the riddle. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Kael pondered the riddle, the weight of the guardian's gaze heavy upon him. Could this be the key to unlocking the secrets of the shadowy realm, or would it lead him deeper into its mysteries? Gap 3S. What do you think Kael's answer will be? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Thank you so much for listening to today's story. As Kael ventured deeper into the strange realm, he quickly realized the trials would not be easy. The glowing stones beneath his feet flickered, some vanishing entirely as he stepped on them, forcing him to move quickly and carefully. He glanced behind him. There was no way to go back now. Strange creatures lurked in the shadows, their eyes glowing as they watched his every move. Some were small, like ethereal wolves, others were massive, shifting shapes, their forms both beautiful and terrifying. Kael's heart raced, but his determination kept him going. He had come this far, there was no turning back. Ahead of him, the path narrowed, leading to an enormous door made of shimmering crystal. The guardian's voice echoed once again.
"Only those who prove their worth may pass through the door. To succeed, you must conquer your greatest fear."
Kael hesitated. What was his greatest fear? He had always been brave, willing to face the unknown. But what if the trial forced him to confront something he couldn't handle? Do you think Kael will be able to conquer his fear? What do you think his greatest fear might be? Share your theories in the comments below. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. As Kael approached the crystal door, the air around him grew thick with tension. Suddenly, the world seemed to shift, the ground beneath him dissolved, and he was standing in a place that seemed familiar, yet completely different. He found himself back in his village, but it was in ruins. The houses were burned to the ground, and the once peaceful streets were filled with shadows. In the distance, he saw the figure of his younger self, standing alone, looking lost.
Kael, why did you leave me? Why didn't you protect me?
Kael's heart ached. His greatest fear had always been failing those he loved, and this was the worst possible vision of that fear coming true. But he couldn't let it hold him back. He stepped forward, pushing through the guilt and fear that weighed on him. He reached out to his younger self, and as he did, the vision began to fade. The crystal door in front of him shimmered brighter, and Kael knew he had passed the test. What do you think of Kael's trial? How would you have faced your greatest fear in a situation like this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. With the door now open, Kael stepped through, finding himself in a new chamber, this one filled with ancient books, glowing crystals, and symbols etched into the walls. A mysterious figure stood at the center of the room, waiting for him.
"I knew you would come. You have passed the trial, Kael. Now you must decide, will you use the power of this realm to change your fate, or will you leave, knowing that some things are better left untouched?"
The room seemed to pulse with energy, and Kael could feel the weight of the decision pressing down on him. Would he use the power to reshape the world, or would he return to his village, knowing that some mysteries were better left unsolved? What should Kael do now? Should he use the power of the realm to change his fate, or leave it all behind? I want to hear your thoughts. Make sure to share them in the comments. That's where we'll leave Kael for now. His journey is far from over, and the choices he faces will have consequences. What will Kael decide? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. If you enjoyed today's story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next part of Kael's adventure. I can't wait to hear your theories and what you think will happen next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.